While playing FNaF 3, have you ever wondered how the game actually functions? Have you ever wondered how the Springtrap AI actually works? Well, in this video, that's what we're going to explore. We're going to dive deeper into the source code of the game to get a better understanding of all the mechanics. Let's start with the basics. In FNaF 3, every 60 seconds an in-game hour passes. The only exception is night 1, where an in-game hour takes 40 seconds instead. When you enable fast nights in the extras menu, an in-game hour lasts half the time it normally would, so 20 seconds on night 1 and 30 seconds on the other nights.
When you play an audio lure in a room, multiple things happen. First, the game picks a random number between 1 and 7. If the number is equal to 1, the lure will simply not work, so there's basically a 1 in a 7 chance of the lure failing. After that, the game checks if Springtrap is close enough to a room the player is trying to lure him in. If he is, he will move into that room after a few game ticks. However, overusing the audio lure can lead to an audio system error, which brings us to the next section. Each time the player uses the audio lure, the audio system will receive damage, and at a certain point he will get an audio error. The audio system has 10 health points, and each time you use it, a specific amount of health is subtracted. The subtracted value is equal to Springtrap's current AI level. So, to summarize, you have infinite uses on night 1, 5 uses on night 2, 4 uses on night 3, 3 uses on night 4, 2 uses on night 5, and 2 uses on night 6 before the audio system breaks. Rebooting the system sets the health value back to 10. The camera system is pretty simple. It also has 10 health points, but the damage is based on a timer. While looking at any of the cameras, the timer is incremented by 1 every second. When the timer reaches 12 seconds, its value is reset and the current Springtrap AI level is subtracted from the health variable. This basically means you have 60 seconds of camera usage on night 2, 40 seconds on night 3, 30 seconds on night 4, 24 seconds on night 5, and 17 seconds on night 6. The vent system functions very similarly. Its timer is set to 12 seconds on night 2, 10 seconds on night 3, 9 seconds on night 4, and 8 seconds on night 5. Oh, and if you're wondering why I haven't mentioned night 6, the AI level on night 6 is set to 7. However, Scott accidentally set the vent system timer to 6 seconds only when the AI level is 6, which never happens in the game. This basically means that there are no random ventilation errors on night 6. Next, let's also talk about system reboots. When you start rebooting a single system, every second the game will pick a random value between 1 and 3 and add it to a progress counter. Once that progress counter reaches 10, the reboot process will finish. This means that rebooting a system can take from 4 seconds up to 10 seconds. When you reboot all systems at once, however, the only difference is that the progress value will be incremented every 2 seconds. So rebooting all systems takes twice as long as rebooting a single one.
Some of the phantom animatronics are based on Springtrap's AI level. The AI level is equal to the night number, except for night 1 where the level is 0 and night 6 where the level is 7. All phantoms become active at 1 AM, that's why the first hour is usually the easiest. Let's start with Balloon Boy. Balloon Boy is active every night except for night 1. Note that Balloon Boy and all the other phantom animatronics become inactive after jumpscaring you once. Every 20 seconds when you don't have your camera monitor up, Balloon Boy gets a spawn opportunity. His chance of spawning depends on Springtrap's AI level, which can only go up to 10. The highest AI level used in the game is 7, so in the worst case, Balloon Boy has a 70% chance of spawning. Once he spawns, he will appear on cameras 1, 7, 9, and 10. The only way to avoid his jump scares is to open his camera and quickly switch to a different one, or just close the camera monitor. However, the amount of time you get to do so depends on your night number. On night 1 you get 100 frames, on night 2 you get 90 frames, on night 3 you get 80 frames, on night 4 you get 70 frames, on night 5 you get 60 frames, and on night 6 you get 50 frames. But there is a catch. Did you know that while Balloon Boy is active, he gets forcibly spawned at 3 AM when your camera monitor is closed? This also happens to the other phantoms, but at different times. Mangle, Chica, and Puppet function pretty much the same, except they get forcibly spawned at 5 AM. I'm assuming that's Scott's way of saying you before you beat the night. But keep in mind that Mangle and Chica become active starting night 3, while Puppet only becomes active starting night 4. Freddy, on the other hand, works a bit differently because his spawn opportunities only happen every 60 seconds, and it doesn't matter whether you have a monitor open or not. His way of waiting before jumpscaring you is similar to Balloon Boy's. He basically has a timer of you looking at him. And the time before you get jump scared is actually the same as Balloon Boy's, but multiplied by 3. I'm just gonna quickly show the new values in the video. When his timer runs out, he will disappear. After that, every 1 second he has a 50% chance of jump scaring you. Freddy also only becomes active starting night 3, and he gets forcefully spawned at 4 AM. Foxy works completely differently though. He is based on pure randomness. His spawn opportunities happen every time you open your camera monitor. His chances of spawning are hard-coded per night. Foxy becomes active starting night 2, so on night 2 his chance of spawning is 1 out of 1000. On night 3 it's 1 out of 50, on night 4 it's 1 out of 25, and on night 5 and 6 it's 1 out of 10. So the best way to avoid Foxy is to open the camera monitor only when needed. Fortunately, Foxy never gets forcefully spawned at any time. But there is one more thing we haven't talked about yet, which is the scare cooldown. Every time you get jump scared by a phantom, there is a 10-second cooldown before another phantom can scare you. While this does not prevent other phantoms from spawning, it will prevent them from executing an attack. That's pretty much it for phantoms. Their mechanics are probably more complex than Springtraps. Anyway, I'll let our new guest explain Springtrap's AI next.
Hey, I'm Cypher Chronicle. I make FNaF content. I've always been fascinated with the technical aspects of FNaF. However, I'm mostly known for roasting MatPat's older theories. Anyway, Springtrap's AI works like this. Every second, a move counter value is added by 1 or 2 if aggressive mode is enabled in every second. This counter determines the chance of him moving. When the move counter is greater than this equation, its values are based on his AI, which is specific for every night. The higher the AI value is, the more aggressive he will be. The aggressive value is normally 0 unless there's a ventilation error, or if the time is past 4 AM, or you're just sitting in the office for more than 10 seconds. Plus a random value between 1 and 15, minus a value called total turns, that increases when action selected equals 1. Finally, if all those conditions are met, it finally triggers a movement opportunity. Springtrap then decides on what action to take, determined by the action selected value. This value has a range of 1 to 4 and is randomly selected. If the value is greater than 1, he can move. However, if it's equal to 1, he simply doesn't move, and instead the total turns counter increases, which makes him more likely to succeed his next movement opportunity. The specific direction that Springtrap moves depends on his current location. For instance, if he's at camera 9 and the action selected value equals 2, he will move backwards. If it's 3, he will move forwards. If it's 4, he will head into the vents. If he's in a room without a vent, like the room on camera 6, he will only have the option to move forwards or backwards. This is because there is no vent present. So the action selected value and the camera location are key factors in Springtrap's behavior. However, when he reaches your window, his behavior shifts into the attack stage. This stage consists of 4 phases. When you see him in the window, it means that he's on attack stage 1. During which he can only move if the action selected value is greater than 2. What I mean by this is that the action selected value is either 3 or 4, initiating an attack stage movement opportunity. He can only move when you're watching him on the camera, and you can also use the audio lure on camera 2 to move him away from the window. Advancing to attack stage 2, he can only move forward if the action selected value is greater than 2. This will trigger his very goofy running animation. Progressing to attack stage 3, Springtrap will either move to camera 1 if the action selected value is equal to 2 and you're viewing a screen, which is either the camera or the repair monitor. However, if action selected is greater than 2 and you're on a screen, he proceeds to attack stage 4, which is him looking outside the door. Attack stage 4 is when he can kill you in many different ways. The first being during a full blackout, when the screen turns completely black. The second way he will kill you is when you're looking at the repair monitor. The third is if you're looking away from him when he's at the door. If you're already looking at the camera and he's at attack stage 4, he will run to the other side of the room and jump scare you. That's all the ways he can kill you on the left side of the office, but what about the right side of the office? He can come from a vent from camera 14 or 15 and kill you that way. However, there are other things to look out for, like hallucinations. Yes, there is a high chance that Springtrap will trick you into thinking he is somewhere else, but in reality he probably isn't. And no, it is not a bug, it is a feature. Basically, if there is a ventilation error, it will show a fake Springtrap in the camera you're viewing, where the real Springtrap isn't. It will randomly choose from any camera, so it's possible to encounter multiple hallucinations anywhere. It will stop occurring once the ventilation error is over. Another trick is the Springtrap nearby sound, referred to as danger2b.wave. which plays throughout the night on channel 10 of the sound channels. If Springtrap isn't in cam 5 or lower, it is played but just muted. However, if he's in camera 5, 4 or 3, channel's 10 volume is set to 50. If he's in camera 2 or any of the attack stages, the channel's volume is turned up to the maximum.
There are quite a few Easter eggs scattered over the entire game. First, let's talk about the Easter egg on the warning screen, which is just a nice mockshot of Springtrap. This rare screen has a 1 in 1,000 chance of appearing after the warning screen. The next Easter egg is located in the what day frame, also known as the frame that indicates what night you're entering before you load into a game. There is a 1 in 1,000 chance that you'll be sent to a mockshot of Springtrap opening his suit instead of the game loading screen. The final rare screen of Springtrap can be found after the game over scene, which again has a 1 in 1,000 chance of appearing. This one is similar to the previous rare screen, except this time Springtrap is looking at the camera. Finally, let's move on to all the Easter eggs in the game scene. When you open your camera monitor, there is a 1 in 10,000 chance of Shadow Freddy appearing in your office. When you open the monitor again, however, Shadow Freddy will disappear. The exact same counts for Bonnie Paper Pal. Freddy Paper Pal and the Office Cupcake work similarly, except their opportunities happen when you open your system reboot monitor instead. On camera 4, there are 2 secret posters. One of them is a pink cupcake poster, which has a 1 in 100 chance of appearing when you open your camera monitor, but will disappear when you close it. However, if you're even more lucky, you might just get the golden cupcake poster, which only has a 1 in 10,000 chance of appearing. The 2 remaining posters can be found on camera 2 and 10. Their chance of appearing is also 1 in 10,000. Those are pretty much all the Easter eggs in FNAF 3, unless we missed something, which I doubt.
There isn't much else to break down. While FNAF 3 also has many minigames, there's nothing interesting about them. So if you like this FNAF 3 breakdown, make sure to also like the video. If you have any suggestions for the future videos, make sure to drop those suggestions in the comment section. Thank you for watching.